What? Oh, ready? Oh, hi, it's Nettie here. Yeah, Nettie from Bentley, and we're here. Oh, of course. Oh, that's my face mask. What am I doing wearing a face mask? Well, it kind of has a lot to do with what we're going to talk about today, and that's called wounds. And so I got prepared for this because I don't want to be boring all the time. I put on my scrubs and see this little cap. It's made from silk. Let me just suggest it because Nettie has to be presentable. So I'm not a nurse or anything like that, but I did work for a food service one time and we had to wear scrubs. At least they let us wear colors. And we had to wear hair nets. Well, when I found this little silk thing, I thought, well, this is wonderful. Well, not that I'm ever going to go back into food service or anything, but there's just, well, who knows why, but I kind of like it. And then a face mask because I didn't have to wear one in food service, because if you had a cold, you shouldn't even come to work. And then they were made out of cloth or something. These are, anyway. So the reason we're looking like this today is because I hurt my finger. I cut my finger one day. And in the process of treating it, I kind of was sitting still, and God kind of spoke to me because, having a owie isn't so fun, but it took a little while to treat that little wound, and it got me to thinking, you know, we know really well how to treat our wounds. We know really well how to take care of a cut. We use Bactine and we use things like Band-Aids, like Mickey Mouse Band-Aids. I kind of have smiley face ones right now. And but you put that little ointment on it, but you have to keep it up because if you're like me, I kind of use my fingers for a lot of things, and I I started using something new, and I'm gonna demonstrate that to you right now. And so, today's theme is wounds. What do we do with our wounds? Okay. Oh, here's a disgusting close up of my little ouchie. So, with a little cut like this, if you don't cover it up, it can get infected because your fingers are so busy all day long in dirt and bacteria. And, you know, we can use a band aid and Bactine and methylate. No, don't use that. I think it has mercury in it. But, they get dirty. The band aids have gaps and you have to constantly change them when they get wet. So I use something like this. It's called New Skin. New Skin. And I don't know. There's other brands, and there's brands that are name brands, and then there's generics, and they all kind of work the same. My dad used to use it when we went bowling, and he'd get big calluses on his thumb, and of course, instead of stopping and waiting until it healed, he kept bowling, but he put New Skin, and it would help cover up the pain and protect his fingers. So I'm just going to put a little bit here, and if you can see, it's just a little coat. It's just a little coat. Okay, now you can see how it's kind of shiny, right? Look at these hands of mine, really. It does show how much I work with them. I grout because I'm a stained glass artist, mosaicist to be exact, and they're kind of worn out from all the hard work I do around the house, and I like those badge of honors. That's kind of what this thing is right here. It's a badge of honor because, the girls at the glass studios say if you haven't bled on your project, it's not worth nothing. But so look, it's a little bit shiny and it's a little tacky, but I'm going to go back on and put one more coat over there because, being patient is part of this, a part of healing. And in so many ways, double checking your wounds. Double checking your wounds while you're trying to heal. And in this case, while this is trying to cure, no pun on words there, it's just, we can't necessarily always cure all of our wound, but we can certainly help the process. So now we wait until it's dry. And once it's dry, we can kind of go on with our lives knowing we've protected that wound, fully expecting that we're going to heal. So that was kind of an opportunity to see what got me thinking, because I was using words like cover up and clean and antiseptic and cure. And you know what? I think that we need to kind of think about what is a wound when it comes to our heart or our mind, not just our skin. It's easy. We get to use that liquid skin and Mickey Mouse Band-Aids and whatever we want, and we're pretty good and pretty trained in what we should do. And we get trained really good when we forget to take care of it, and then it gets infected because it's a little bit more work. And that's true when you're wounded in your heart or in your mind. People wound us, and sometimes we let them do that over and over again. So let's take a look at that. So somebody said something to you and it hurt. It didn't just hurt, but it kind of stings. And sometimes in this world, our first response, like we said before, is just hit back, wound back. I mean, it's kind of the easy thing to do. And, some of us are pretty good at coming up with words that hurt other people. I've done it many times, not with the intention really of hurting somebody, but to defend myself and protect myself and put up a barrier. So if we kind of think about being wounded by other people, and it doesn't matter if it's in a moment when somebody's screaming or yelling, or somebody says something that they didn't think about when in front of other people and it embarrasses us, or they wrote an email that just hurts, or I'm just misunderstood. There's a place to be, because the first thing I want to do is put up that barrier. But let's think about the liquid skin. That liquid skin takes some preparation. We have to wash the wound. Take a good look at it first, because like with me, if there's glass in that, I've got to remove that glass. And so let's think of that piece of glass that's in my finger. Let's translate that to, let's take a look at what part I played in the wounding. Did I have anything to do with that? Have I said something or done something that might have made somebody think they needed to strike back at me? It doesn't matter if it was truth or not. It matters that I look. It really matters that I look. If there's something there, I have to remove that and set it aside to examine later. Because right now, I have to look at what the wound is. I've had some things said to me in constructive criticism that ended up wounding me because I let it. So that's something different. It's those big wounds that people just lash out with that are very, very hurtful. So instead of putting on a Band-Aid, we need to kind of look at what was really going on. That's where having a good friend to talk to, or a counselor, or like I've said before, I have a spiritual director and more than one. I have 2 good pastors. I have friends in groups, and I have, BFFs. I have lots of BFFs, or I call them sometimes my sister friends, my brother friends, but friends who kind of understand my heart, and they understand my weaknesses too, because they can help me point out the plank in my eye or the glass in my finger. So once we know that we have been wounded, we don't put up a barrier. We put something on the wound that will help us protect ourselves from the next attack, if there is even going to be one. And all that is being mindful of where that person may be coming from. It's usually the wounded that wound others. It doesn't make it right. And it doesn't mean that we have to do anything more than understand where it came from and then disengage. Take the time to heal. If it's necessary to speak the truth in love, be armed with a prayer, with some advice, with the best of intention of saying, I'm sorry and I'm disappointed that this is the way we are handling this issue. And if I've done anything to harm you, please forgive me, but I'd like to talk about that. Now, that's usually easier with relationships that are healthy. And if you're in a relationship that's not, or somebody has just decided to attack you, you don't even know who they are, it might be time to disengage and only find what you need to know in that lesson. Sometimes that is learning how to heal, learning what's truth for you, and claiming only the good. Only the good. And in this case, the only good might be learning the lesson. Learning the lesson that others are going to wound us, and we can own it, we can fix it, or we can put it away. But it always takes 2 people willing to talk it through. And it really takes a lot of love. It does. And I'm going to tell you right now, try to put on the cloak of love. Try to do that before you even sit and analyze things. If you come from a place of love, you might have, you just might get hurt even more often. It's guaranteed you're going to get hurt if you come from any other place. If you're angry, if you shout out things because you've been hurt, you're going to get hurt more. I'd rather get hurt even when I've been loving than to continue the conversation in hate. Okay, Nettie's done for now. Not everything's going to be this serious, but just learning from that little wound about my heart, I can't wait to learn more. And when I do, I'm going to share it because Nettie loves you. Bye-bye now. Don't be crappy. Be happy. You know the ticket. Remember to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thank you.